Tonight's video is just going to be an intro to a cool program that we're going to use in class. Right? This program is a calculator, so you can go in and you can type in all of our equations that we've been looking at, and it'll graph it for us, and we can use our domain and range and constraints to make a cool design. So it's called Desmos, so you can go to desmos.com or type it into Google, and we want to launch the calculator. There's a way to make a free account. Up here at Create Account, you just type in your email, and that way you can keep coming back to it or email it and share it with people, and everything's free. So the way it works is on the left-hand side, this is where we type in our equations. So if I wanted to do a linear, I could say y equals 2x plus 3. As I type it, it graphs it to the right. I do not have to put the y. It's automatically assuming that it has a y equals there. So if I wanted to do the absolute value, just use my keyboard, do the absolute value, and it's assuming y equals the absolute value of x. Whenever you open a bracket or parentheses or whatever you're using, it's going to automatically close it. So all I did for this one was type in a 1 bar, and it made the pair of bars. Alright, and you can do any type of equation from linear to absolute value to quadratic, and we could even do vertical lines. So in most lines we have y equals something, but for vertical it's x equals. So if I type in x equals 3, I get a vertical line. So it's going to always assume y equals unless you type that x in there. The other cool thing about this Desmos is that we can put in our own domain and range, and we can constrain our graphs to wherever we want them to be to make our designs look cool. So if I wanted this linear in red to be from -6 to -1 on my graph, I'm going to open a curly bracket, and my lower domain, the lower end, is -6. I'm going to say is less than x is less than -1. And then there's my constraint for that graph. So maybe I want my absolute value to be from -1 to 3. I'm going to do the same thing, but as soon as I open a curly bracket, I automatically get the other side put in. So now I'm going to say -1 is less than x is less than 3. It doesn't have to be between two numbers. It could just be x is less than 3, and it would be the entire left side of that absolute value, v. Alright, now for this vertical line, obviously it's not spanning horizontally because it's only at one x value, so we're going to use y to determine our range. So now instead of being left to right, I'm going to look up and down and use the y. So if I say I want this to be from 3 to 7, I'm going to open a curly bracket and say 3 is less than y is less than 7. So now I kind of have a weird design where it comes up, does my absolute value, and then it goes straight up. Now this one's not a function because it doesn't pass the vertical line test because of that vertical line, but it's still a design. There's all sorts of things you can do. It does any of our parent functions, so I could say 1 divided by x, and it automatically puts it in there. We could say x cubed. Right? All you're doing is using your keyboard to type in your equation, and it puts it on your graph for you. Alright, now we can do any of our transformations, anything you want to do that we've talked about with a, h, and k. Just type it in on the left, put your constraints in, look at your design on the right. Alright, so this is all you had to do for the video, is just see this introduction, and I will see you tomorrow. Meet me in the library at class. Go straight to the library for our class. Alright, see you tomorrow.